Good morning, Cameron. Here's your machine, the Breville Oracle Touch BES990 in silver. As we spoke, it's pretty much like new. Only used for a few months and barely has any signs of wear. And I've finished doing all the things that's required, so the descale, the back flush, checking that everything's fine, and obviously it's like new all around. So there's no functional issues. So this video I'm just gonna do a latte to show you that the machine obviously works, and just to teach you how to use it if you didn't know how to already. So the machine is pretty much fully automatic. You can choose to do it automatically, or you can choose to do things manually if you'd like. So what I like to start with is a blank shot. So I like to start with a blank shot just to warm things up. So that's pressing, so it's in demo mode. That's pressing the 2-cup button, the 2-cup button without any coffee in the handle, just to warm up the machine, the handle and the cup in one go. Just be careful when you're putting your cups in and out, you don't want to scratch the finish. You can do that once or twice, you can stop at any time, it's up to you. You can choose to purge the steam one as well. So the machine usually stops for 30 seconds. You can also ask it to dispense by volume, I believe, but the factory default is by time. So this is the cup, very hot now. I'm going to keep it on the side to keep warm and to start grinding the coffee. So I want to take this out, drain all the water, use a tissue to dry it, and I want to start on a dry portafilter to grind my coffee. This machine will also, like I said, it'll grind automatically. So if you want to, you don't really need a scale or you need to measure, but out of interest, I will measure it just in case you're interested. I believe usually it's about 18 to 22 grams for a double shot, which this is. This comes with a double shot single oil basket, which is the ones that the baristas use. So it's the best one, pretty much. Portafilter dry. All you need to do is select the grind size. This one is 22. I found that to be quite fine for the beans that I'm using. I'm using the Aldi brand medium dark. It's okay, I guess, especially for the price. But yeah, don't change the grind size when the grinder is not spinning. Only change it when the grinder is grinding. You just turn it to the right. There we go, it'll make a noise when it's done. That's it. Just want to clean the puck. And let's measure it out of interest. It's 23 grams. So 23 grams of coffee. If that's too much or too little, you can change that from the settings. Sorry, if that's too much or too little, you can actually change it from the inside. There's a mechanism actually. But yeah. You don't have to tap it, you don't have to, for the grind size, you want to select the grind size that allows you to get smooth coffee in the right amount of time. If your coffee is flowing way too fast, you make it go finer. If it's flowing way too slow, you increase the grind size. So let me rephrase. If the coffee is struggling to come out of the handle, so coming out very slow in drops, then that's probably because the grinds are very fine So if you want to reverse that, you want to go a little bit coarser to help the water go through. And on the other hand, if the water goes through really quickly and the coffee comes out black and lacks crema, that's when you have a very coarse grind size and you want to go finer from there. It's pretty much just experimenting. So you want to screw it in tight. Try to go at least 6 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock sometimes, but 6 o'clock is tight enough. Let me just dump the hot water from here. At this stage you want to add any syrups, sugars, sweeteners before the espresso. So you can use the hot water spout for things like Americano or long blacks or tea. Cool. I'm just being really careful not to scratch the finish, that's why it's a little bit slow. But usually if you have smooth base cups or plastic cups or the glass short glasses shouldn't scratch as much. It's just that porcelain and ceramic is quite abrasive, so I'm really careful with your machine. So, I'm going to use the scale again to weigh the output. This is the more important bit. Weighing the grinds wasn't as important because this is an automatic machine. It's going to be pretty much consistent, more or less. But I want to weigh the output as well. So I want to press double because this is a double shot basket. So double, and I want to get about 40 to 45 grams of coffee in the 30 seconds. So let's see, I'm not exactly sure, but it'll depend on the grind size, I guess. If it's very fine, if it's very coarse, it'll go a little bit quicker, which this one could be, I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I stand corrected. So the coffee is coming out very nice and slow. Oh, that's beautiful. Can you see that? So yeah, that's 30 seconds. But let's measure that and see if it's around 40 grams. It's probably not. It's about 34. So from here, I know that grind size 22 for these beans is very fine. So I only got 34 and I was aiming for sort of 40 to 45. So if I increase it a couple notches to grind size 24, there you go, grind size 24, it should give us about 40 grams, which, by the way, 35 is not too bad actually. It's quite good. Yeah, please only try to move 1 or 2 steps max. You don't want to jump a lot of numbers. And what I like to do is dump this and clean it as well. Oh, by the way, here's the nut box that your machine comes with. It's very, very nice. And the milk jug. And behind the drip tray, there's actually tools. So, cleaning tools, tablets, etc., etc. So yeah, I like to clean this way. So pressing the double button again. So this is a blank shot, just to clean the grip head as well as the handle in one step. So. I like to store this either here or on the sink. Otherwise, some people like to keep it here or here. That wouldn't hurt, but I don't like to keep it on the grip head because it keeps it moisty. I guess if you dry it up, it's not the worst thing. So if you dry this and put it on the head, that's fine. But if it's wet, don't put it in. You don't want it to stay wet all the time. Obviously, this is a dual boil machine, so you can do both steam and brew coffee. But for the sake of the video, I'm only doing one at a time. Let me grab my milk. I recommend full cream milk, but whichever milk you want to start with, a cold milk, so in the fridge. Okay. For your milk, this is the latte section. So this is the default factory settings for latte. So 65 degrees Celsius, 50% froth. So you can change that here. Change the temperature from, I think, 50 to 75, and you can change the frothiness from 1 to 10, 5 being the middle frothiness level. You want to fill your milk jug just below the spout here. It's the same thing on your jug. Just below the spout is standard, so about here. It wouldn't hurt to purge the steam on just to warm it up and get all the water out. And I'll have to do this after as well, so I'll show you that. So when you put it in, just push it in and press. Ideally, you should be doing this with the coffee brewing at the same time. That's pretty much the main reason for having a dual boiler. It'll save you time, it'll make sure your coffee is still fresh, and that your coffee doesn't sit out like what I'm doing now. But I guess that's the price you have to pay for a video that you can follow. There you go, 65 degrees Celsius. Before taking it out, you want to grab a wet towel for yourself. And as you take it out, wipe off the steam one. This is very important. The steam one gets very hot, obviously, with steam going through it. So it'll burn the milk if you take it out and not wipe it off. I'm going to wipe it off straight away. This is extremely important. Otherwise it'll stick there, it'll block the holes. No good. And when you push it down, it usually cleans itself. So it'll clean itself and purge steam through it. Just lastly, you just want to wipe this to keep the finish nice and clean. And it wouldn't hurt to purge it yourself, up to you really. It's all preventative maintenance with this machine that'll keep it lasting longest. Make sure the holes are not blocked. And monthly you want to dunk this in hot water just to loosen up any milk. By the way, the milk is nice and creamy here. Very smooth texture. I'm gonna bump it down to break any bubbles. And then swirl it around just to keep things mixed up. Do that once or twice. And with enough practice, you can actually do latte art on this machine. Just like the baristas do in the cafes. It's not too hard. But in this case, I haven't attempted to do that. Alright, here's my latte. show you. Yeah, I've seen people do a lot out on this machine. It's not something that you can't do. It makes it very easy. And the whole machine is quite easy to use. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Before leaving, I'll just give you a few tips and tricks regarding maintenance. Always change the, so always do the descale cycle. Sorry, let me start over. Always do the cleaning cycle when the machine asks you to, and do the things that I told you. So cleaning before and after, purging, wiping the wand. These things will keep your machine lasting. So for example, when you clean the group head after you make a coffee, like what I did, it'll prolong the life of your group head actually. So the less coffee grounds you keep in the group head and the rubber seal, the more it'll last. Same thing for the steam wand. The more often you clean it and purge it, the less often it will be blocked. Cleaning cycle is important for keeping the solenoid valve and the pipes clean. Do not descale this machine. It's notorious for giving you issues after descaling. It gets quite bad, and a lot of people have complained online about this machine, even the other machine, so the regular Oracle, the dual boiler, that they stopped steaming after descaling. So please don't descale the machine. The water in Australia is quite clean. I'm not sure about your area, but at least here in Melbourne, it's quite clean. And if you just use the water filter inside and you change that every 3 months, you're good to go. So you can use the water filter for another month or two. It's still viable. Use that for another month or two and change it every 3 months. You won't have to descale. You won't have to worry about ruining your machine or any algae or dirt build up, because the filter will pretty much keep your machine fresh on the inside. I did check the machine. I drained both the boilers. I had a look at the water. It's very clean. Like I said, it's like new. And yeah, so the machine is very good now. And I would advise against descaling. That's number one. Number two, this is, like I said, as new machine. So you won't have issues anytime soon. But if you do, notice any issues down the line, so don't hesitate to take it to your nearest service center, or maybe reach out to me. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but if you can always send it to me for $20. I think that's not too bad. You can send it to me here in Victoria. I'm happy to take a look, repair, check up at least once a year, once every other year. It's up to you, but you want to get it serviced the moment you notice an issue. So these machines, I'm telling you this because I've seen this from experience. It's sort of the thing that I like to do. JB Hi-Fi won't tell you this. Harvey Norman won't tell you this. I'm telling you this because I've seen it happen, and I want you to enjoy the machine for the longest time possible. So I'm saying this sort of as a precautionary from brother to brother. So, and obviously I really like coffee machines, so I don't want you to lose yours. Don't descale. Always clean it, change the filter on time, etc., etc. And when you hear any issues, or you see it dripping, or you see steam coming out, or if you hear a hissing noise, so if you listen quietly, you shouldn't be hearing any hissing noises. Maybe only when the machine is heating up, it'll be boiling the water. But now, it's been on for maybe half an hour. I don't hear any hissing noises, so you don't want to hear the machine hissing or leaking steam on the inside, obviously. So any issues from that end, do take it to a service center, or maybe open it up yourself and investigate. Yep, this has been a 20-minute video pretty much. I hope you enjoy your machine. I'll see you very soon, or I'll chat to you soon. And yeah, I'm sure you're excited for this, as I am. Cheers.